So there's been quite the story over the weekend in, well, as it turned out, it was in North London for most of it. Hadush Kebatu, the man that was jailed for the assault of a minor in Epping, that triggered all those protests during the summertime, escaped, but I don't think escaped is even the correct way
He didn't escape. They basically turfed him out.
Yeah, they kicked him out. There's actually quite an interesting clip here that we should put in now.
So I was delivering a fridge and a freezer, temporary fridge and freezer, to Chelmsford Prison. I arrived there approximately 10:10 yesterday morning. The guy was released. He walked out of the airlock. He then kept returning back to the airlock and basically saying to the officers there, "Where am I going? What am I doing? I don't know where I'm going, what I'm doing."
What can you tell us is happening right now? Is there any new information?
Well, there's an enormous police manhunt underway. He was last spotted in East London, as you just said. So we're urging vigilance for people to keep their eyes open if they see him, to dial 999 so that he can be arrested and deported. But there's no skirting over the fact that this is an utterly appalling situation. I think most people, like me, will feel, completely horrified that something like this could happen, let alone that it has happened. And that's why the Justice Secretary has ordered an investigation so that we can get to the bottom of how on earth did this happen, what went wrong, who was responsible, what do we do differently, and who needs to be held to account. Anyone watching this morning will beg a belief that something like this could happen. And I suspect if someone came to the BBC with a script proposal for this sort of scenario, it would be dismissed for being too far-fetched.
He left at around noon, holding a plastic bag of his possessions. Social media footage appeared to show him then on Chelmsford High Street shortly afterwards, and police say he boarded the 12:41 train to Stratford in London. CCTV footage then picked him up in a library in Dalston at around 6 o'clock, still wearing his prison tracksuit. After a tip-off from a member of the public, police finally arrested him in Finsbury Park at around 8:30 this morning.
This whole thing is insanity. Before we get into it, can I also just say, beggars' belief is its beggars' belief, not, what was it that Wes Streeting just said?
He said
people will beggar belief.
It beggars belief. Yeah. As if beggars was a
Come on,
verb.
guys. Sure, it's like the one during the election, the boat metaphor.
Oh yeah.
Like the ship was sinking, and we needed to get a new captain of the ship to make the ship
and like
safe.
meeting my word count with this metaphor from Wes Streeting there.
This guy initially seems like he doesn't, like he's aware that he shouldn't be leaving the jail.
Yeah, he said, I was meant to be deported.
Yeah. He's standing there at the airlock going, where am I going? What do you mean? Like, what's going on here? Like, from start to finish, this, to quote Wes Streeting, this is beggars' belief that a man that has been intrinsic to such unrest in the UK for months is not under such a level of watch that could happen.
Probably one of the highest profile prisoners in the country right now.
Yeah. Daniel Khalif is in jail as well, isn't he?
Yeah, they got him eventually too.
We cannot stop releasing high profile prisoners.
No, it's so interesting because do you think this is an incompetence of the prison system, or how do you think this happened? Because that seems to be the question that is everyone just can't get their heads around. How did this happen?
I mean, all you could possibly think is all I have in my head is that it's a case of mistaken identity, that the prison guards are on autopilot to such an extent that they just see a person and say, that is the person that is meant to be released today. However, the fact that we knew that it was him rather than somebody else, that if someone was being released that day and he was released, the person who was meant to be released will be the name that he was released under.
Did that man get deported?
But this is what I'm saying, that like we know that he was released because his name was the name on the release docket. Everybody that works in that prison must know what that man is in for and how significant the crime is in British political discourse this year. How important he is to all of the debates that are playing out in Westminster, in the country as a whole. I really can't fathom what possibly went wrong along the way for them to turn around and say, this is the guy that needs to go today.
I mean,
And also not second guessing yourself.
Yeah.
Not second guessing yourself after you've let him out of the airlock to then go, if he's so unsure, like surely somebody is going to pick him up. Like, wait, hold on. Have we got the right guy? Oh, Jesus. No, we don't. Get back in here.
Yeah.
There was not, it doesn't seem like any of that was at play.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's interesting because I've seen lots of sort of discussion about, well, this is the incompetence of prison staff. It feels like someone's head is going to be on the block for this. But I don't think that's going to solve the underlying problem of what went wrong here. I think you can look at this and his release as being emblematic of the hollowing out and privatisation of the British state. So HMP Chelmsford, the prison that he was in, staffing at that prison was cut by 25% in 2016, a result of austerity. Budget cuts led to insufficient monitoring and a reliance on agency staff to fill vacancies. More generally, prisons in this country have been at the forefront of privatisation, and that's a Tony Blair era PFI legacy. And so some prisons in the UK are completely privatised, and the Prison Reform Trust, as a result of that, found that there's low and inexperienced staff at the in the interest of profit, 'cause it's not in the interest to have lots of staff and to highly train them if all you're thinking about is your bottom line. And it's the same in the asylum system as well. I mean, the Home Affairs Select Committee overnight report on asylum hotels that came out, that's being published today, found that asylum hotel providers made excessive profits at the taxpayer expense. This whole system we have in the UK of privatisation in the prison system, in the asylum system, it doesn't benefit the British public. It doesn't benefit asylum seekers. It doesn't benefit prisoners. It doesn't even benefit the governments because they become so unpopular. The only people that benefit from this insane system we have are private companies that profit from everyone else's misery.
The consequence being there are going to be far less staff at this prison now that are their heads are going to be on the chopping block after this.
Yeah.
If that is what the response of the government or the response of the prison service is. But yeah, it's just austerity didn't work. This is a further example of how austerity has not worked to enshitify every public sector in the country, or every public sector industry in the country. Unfortunately, the prison system is an industry. It's run like an industry.
There's American prison companies that either run or were sought under the Blair government to come and operate British prisons.
Yeah. I mean, these
see what the American prison system is like.
Yeah. I mean, we don't really have it here yet, but the unpaid labor that operates in the American prison system is one of the main things that you see in popular culture day in, day out. But this happens Europe-wide. I mean, back home, it's the thing that we don't have direct provision anymore, but in effect we do. It's just with a different name. The system with which we house asylum seekers in Ireland before it was made IPAS, the system was run by these American prison providers that provide everything from food to security. You're seeing that across the board in every country in Europe. This slow creep of private industry mainly from America, can be from other European countries like Germany and France, but mainly American providers that come into these industries that are at the front line of defunding and enshittifying, and will come along and say, well, we can skim off the top of this and continue to dilapidate the system as it is, continue to have these problems, accelerate problems like this in future, You don't need to be experienced to do this job. All you're doing is turning on and off this door for someone to walk in and out of. You don't need to be experienced to supervise the yard time or whatever it might be. Like, it's just lessening and lessening and lessening the quality of every service, be it a prison service or be it an asylum system. You are actively and consciously making situations like this happen more often.
Calling freelancers, small and mid-sized business owners. Tide's Instant Saver account offers up to 4% AER variable, flexible access and competitive returns.
Unlike other options on the market, you won't need to hold your money with Tide for a fixed period. That means you'll have instant access and free withdrawals whenever you need it.
You can get started today with just £1, making it easy to start growing your business savings.
Want to know what you'll earn? Tide's clever calculator gives you a clear picture up front.
Our audience will receive £100 cash back when you deposit £5,000 within the first 30 days of opening your Tide Instant Saver account.
Use code JOE, that's JOE, JOE. New members receive an annual equivalent rate of up to 4% AER variable, free for 6 months. For the full offer, visit tide.co/Joe. T's and C's apply.
It goes back to what I was saying about budget cuts have led to insufficient monitoring and insufficient staff. Like, surely if a HMP Wandsworth perhaps had more staff, then something like this might not have happened. But I think it's so easy to go back to the 14 years of Conservative government, to austerity to blame. But actually, like, this is a Tony Blair era legacy. This is PFIs. This was the breaking up and selling off of the state to the highest bidder. But then all you get is a worse service at taxpayers' expense that massive companies profit off of.
Mm-hmm. What do you make of the avocado tote bag in Dalston?
Well, he fits in with the locals.
I mean, I wonder if somebody told him to do that. Or
you think somebody told him to do that?
Well, he initially goes out with like a shopping bag, and then at some point in his journey, he finds an avocado tote bag.
Yeah.
And then when he's caught in Finsbury Park, he's wearing a completely different outfit. Where did you find those clothes?
Yeah, not hard to come across a tote bag though in East London.
True. I just think it's quite interesting that it's an avocado one. I wonder where he went in Dalston.
The library.
Well, yeah, definitely went to the library. Did he go to, I wonder if he went to the Dusty Knuckle. Did he complete the Hackney Hajj on a Saturday morning? Yeah, just inside, like outside of the selling off the state, the fact that it takes so long to find this person is quite terrifying as well. And it just feeds into this narrative again. Like, we're talking about this as a great sell-off of the state, of the enshittification of public sector industry, of all of these things. But ultimately, the main line that's going to come out of this is this man and the Epping Hotel protests, the people who were involved in the Epping Hotel protests, are going to take this and run with it for as long as they possibly can. Mm-hmm. And it just feeds further and further into this division of, like, Keir Starmer's obviously going to get the blame for it. The kind of like, you can see how dirty this is going to get as a political football, you know?
Absolutely. But the thing is, Nigel Farage, with his great plan to break up and sell off what little still exists of the British state and sell it to the highest bidding contractor, is just going to enshrine these problems even more. But it just feels like that's where we're heading, but there's no way to get off that train.
Mm.
That's not very hopeful. Sorry, guys.
Well, where is the hope? Is it for the President Polanski 2030?
President?
Is it, yeah, I mean, is he an anti-monarchist? I think he is an anti-monarchist, no?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So President Polanski 2030. Yeah. We have President Polanski renationalizes everything, deports Nigel Farage in like a real FBP way, like dark FBP.
He hates being in Brussels. We make him go live in Brussels. Yeah.
We find a prison in Brussels that's going to take Nigel Farage. Dark Brandon, Dark FPP, King Polanski deports Nigel Farage.
It does just feel like there'd have to be such like a radical overhaul of the sort of relations of the state to the private sector that we've developed since the 80s and then late 90s, that it does feel this Labour government won't do it. So who will?
But also anyone who dares to do it will be destroyed.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you see what happened to Corbyn in 2017 and 2019. Anyone who threatens the status quo as it is since the Blair years will face insane amounts of smearing, insane amounts of negative campaigning, to the point that the maybes and the don't knows would never dream of voting for you. You already see it a small bit with Polanski. Like I think, was it Clarkson 2 weeks ago was writing that piece about his teeth, like commenting on his
really
teeth
nasty,
the whole.
like real nasty stuff.
Like it's, and also like the hypnosis thing is coming back in a massive way that doesn't seem to be sticking.
Yeah.
You just hear it so much, you know. You're kind of like.
But that plus him singing at Lib Dem conference, I'm sorry, this is the worst dirt you have on Zach Polanski.
Yeah, exactly. But like it is inevitable that anybody who is going to try and reverse we're coming on to 20 years of austerity now. Well, I mean, we're a couple of years off it, but closer to 20 years than we were yesterday. It's almost like you're in this inescapable doom loop of further and further privatization of the state until there's nothing left. And anyone that tries to reverse that will be consigned to history. But there is, I do feel hopeful that there is a substantial enough movement against that now, that especially when we're talking about like his teeth, his singing, and his hypnosis being the only things that you can take out against Polanski, I think there is something there that could develop into a real movement.
You've got to hope.
You've got to hope.
But it feels like this, I don't know, I don't understand what the Labour government are doing. It's like they're aware that they're in this sort of system of privatisation and contracts and basically extraction of all government resource into the private sector. But then what we're talking about at the budget, the small tiny things that Rachel Reeves is doing isn't going to reset any of that. She's essentially just, I don't know, reshuffling shuffling the deck chairs on the Titanic rather than like actually trying to save the sinking ship. There's a boat metaphor in there for Wes.
I fear it's the exact same boat metaphor, just not Corbyn and Starmer instead.
Yeah.
Make that boat ship shape.
Yeah, that was it. It
make the ship shape to take
stop the ship from being not ship shape.
Yeah, whatever the fuck. Yeah, that was a fun evening.
Thanks to Tide and their instant savings account for sponsoring this week's podcast.
New members receive an annual equivalent rate of up to 4% AER variable.
Our audience will receive £100 cash back when you deposit £5,000 within the first 30 days of opening your Tide Instant Saver account.
Use code JOE. For the full offer, visit tide.co/Joe. T's and C's apply.